What's up, guys? Welcome back to the PhazeCast. How you been? Good? That's great.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
Soy Dora. You say... This is the weirdest opening we've ever done. How you doing, Eric? Doing good, man?
I'm doing just fine, Joe. What's up?
Listen, I wanted to ask, so you did like a TikTok recently. You stitched Straw Hat Goofy.
Oh God.
And in it you said that there shouldn't be you don't want movies regulated again, right?
I just enjoy movies where people don't necessarily have consequences for their actions.
What? I thought you wanted them regulated. That's what the ending bit was.
Well, of course, I would rather not have them regulated.
Gotcha. And you don't want consequences for actions?
And not necessarily. I like a lot of aimless movies where nothing happens, and a lot of movies where bad people do bad things, and then nothing happens.
So, but there should be some form of controlled chaos at least when it comes to movies and.
No, dude. Have you seen The Holy Mountain?
World?
That movie's batshit nuts and has no purpose. It's awesome.
I see. Eric, listen, normally I'd agree with you a little bit and we'd be all happy and fun, but we need to not do that. We need to have some solidarity over one thing, okay? We need to, chaos is fun and great, but it should be...
Where are you going with that?
I'm just saying, chaos is fun and great, but it should be, within some rules.
Which ones? No, that's not chaotic at all.
Oh. Chaos should be fun and repeatable.
What?
It should be within the realm of the council.
What are you saying?
And these words that you're speaking of speak of a rogue aspect that we here should not condone.
What the hell is... What are you doing? Who is that?
Now then. I'm putting you in a smaller screen so people can know I'm serious.
Why'd you put me on the normal screen?
Excuse me, 1 second.
What the hell's going on? Why are you putting on a coat? Why do you need a coat for this?
Now then. Focus.
Me?
Excellent. We here at PhazeCast do not condone the actions of the rogue, nor do we condone the actions of the Paharists.
What the hell?
We side with the council.
What is this? What movie is this?
I enjoy the cookout.
What?
That's all. Anyway, we can just go ahead and talk about normal life again.
Why did you...
Oh no, I lost my earbuds.
What?
Yeah, that was warm for a bit.
I don't understand the reference.
Sorry, what? I don't have my earbuds in.
Explain to me what you just did.
Oh, you sweet summer child. The fact that you do not know means you are safe. So then, speaking of Straw Hat Goofy, you want to talk about movies, right?
I do want to talk about movies. Can you make my screen bigger?
Oh, I fixed it. You're good. I just had a message out to that foolish rogue Che.
Oh, Che Durena. Oh, yeah. What is that about?
Che.
You're not supposed to tell people that you scratch your balls through your pocket?
Shut up! Silence! Do not give council secrets away! Jeez.
Like the women know.
I do not give council secrets away, Eric. We have a council for a reason.
I see people, like, when you do it, you can tell. I see people do it at the Target. I just don't...
Vantalord, like I said earlier, the PhazeCast sides with the council. Remember back in the War of Mars in 2000 BC that I stood there on the front lines with you. Please do not send your finest bounty hunters against my friend. He is an ill-informed child in these matters. But we should talk about movies.
I'll scratch my balls whenever I want and tell whoever I want. So what besides Spider-Man aside,
Spider-Man's the best movie of 2021.
Favorite movies of 2021. Well, I think Spider-Man was like one of the most entertaining movies I've ever seen in my fucking life because I love Spider-Man. But
Also, no, in general, it's just a good movie that somehow tells the story of, like, it finishes off the story of a trilogy, while also adding on to 2 other series of movies.
Yeah, I think even if you had very little context about Spider-Man, it's still an enjoyable movie. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, what was your favorite movie of the year, Joe?
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Besides No Way Home!
Here's the thing I don't get about this. Everyone's like, oh, aside from this one, what's your favorite? There isn't one. Because that's not my favorite then. Is it?
What's your second favorite?
Don't have one.
What? Well, listen, I think
Spider-Man No Way Home.
I think that you're probably going to be upset about this because I would say that probably my 2 favorite feature-length things
They're
that
not
I
feature-length. Don't say it. It's not.
That
a feature-length is an hour and a half at least.
What?
Yes, that's a feature length.
No, it's not.
That is exactly what it is.
No, it's not, dude.
Hour 20 minutes at least.
The Winnie the Pooh movie was released theatrically and is like 65 minutes long.
The Winnie the Pooh movie is a stupid thing.
No, what?
Yes, fight me. It's not
Winnie the Pooh is excellent. I'm gonna Google.
I'm not attacking Winnie the Pooh. I'm attacking Winnie the Pooh movie. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I think a special is not a movie.
You think that an 80-minute special does not count as feature length? A feature length film.
You see how you said the word special though? How it's not a movie?
A feature length film runs for more than 40 minutes, Joe.
Okay, but I'm still saying it's not a film.
So my 2 favorite things that I saw this year probably are Inside.
If we're talking about movies, it's not a film.
And Get Back, the Beatles documentary, was pretty neat.
Get Back was good. Inside was great, but it's not a film. It is a comedy special.
Well, let's not talk about movies then. Let's talk about our favorite comedy special for a second, Joe. Mine was Inside. What's yours?
Okay, mine was Inside. What are you talking about?
It's great.
Yeah, it's great. It expresses the feeling of our generation, especially in these hard times. It also expresses just in general, the feelings of doubt, frustration, anxiety, and self-deprecation that I feel a lot of people feel in these times. Not just our generation, but everybody in general. There are definitely some things that are just swings, like specifically. FaceTime with my mom is fucking too on the nose.
That's a good one.
As well as a white woman's Instagram is hilarious. I love that.
Yeah, that one visually.
Visually is great. It's so hilarious.
And the middle section where he is discussing the actual issues of the Instagram white woman and then just goes right back into the. Anyway, I love it. I think it's interesting to watch Bo Burnham grow up with our generation in the public eye the way that he has. I watched.
You went into hiding.
I know he did, but I've been.
Oh boy.
I watched his videos on YouTube when I was a kid, and I was like, "Hey, this guy's so funny," and bought his first album when I was a teenager. It's been weird, seeing that.
I want to. This is a soft take probably, but people who tell me, because I've had a few, that they said they like old Bo Burnham better, as in I really like New Math. I don't know if I like his new stuff, and I'm just like, tell me you don't think about deeper emotions without telling me you don't think about deeper emotions.
I can't believe you've heard people say that. I feel like
multiple people say that, and that's upsetting.
The majority of that stuff is real YouTube level humor that has not aged well anyway.
Yeah, I'm Boyo still good. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's nostalgic to hear, but I don't put it on because it's YouTube stuff from 15 years ago, dude.
I would not discredit YouTube stuff. YouTube stuff.
No, you're right. I know. You're right.
I feel like that's a bad swing.
Well, I feel like he's improved, and I think that you're right. That there are a lot of things that have come out since then that he's touch on much more interesting subjects. And that's weird. I haven't heard anybody say that, and I'm glad that I haven't because.
You would have probably raged a little bit.
Yeah,
you're gonna do the thing that you say to me almost every podcast. What? Sorry.
What? You did that?
Your opinion is different than what I expected it to be. Oh.
We should make YouTube videos of. You know how they always do the shocked face on the fucking YouTube videos of like some guy and he's like,
yeah, that's a YouTube thumbnail. That's how you get clicks and views.
He's like, I opened my Hatchimal's egg and it had a penis, and then everybody watches the video.
We should start doing it for all of our YouTube posts that we're doing. Actually, here, get ready. You ready? You're gonna clip this one. There you go. You got a very reactive face. We should do it. And don't say you hate it. The pale man.
From
yeah. Here's your thumbnail. Ready? Here's your thumbnail. This is a great podcast for everyone to listen to because they can fucking. They're hearing us make stupid faces.
Well, for reference, we look like assholes. For everybody listening.
That's fair.
Just imagine a couple of assholes.
Couple of assholes talking about nerdy stuff.
All
right, let's
So after that, my favorite comedy special. What was your favorite 3-part, 8-hour-long documentary about a band from the '60s? Because mine,
Spinal Tap, right?
Not from the '60s, Joe. Not from the '60s.
You're talking about the Freddie Mercury movie.
No, dude, I didn't see that movie.
What? Oh, dude, that's good. It's good.
Really?
Yeah. What do you mean? Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I've heard mixed things about it, and I am
okay, your sources for these mixed things. Are some of them pretentious people who can't enjoy life? Because I feel like that's where you hear some of those from.
My friends, yes.
Yeah. So maybe you should not. Maybe you should form your own opinion. Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Freddie Mercury, and it scares me to have
Radio Google.
That song is
Gaga.
well. That song is dumb.
That song is great. No, that song is great.
Right. It is.
It builds and it's awesome.
No, it's great.
But it's also fun to make fun of.
You know what I was thinking about recently?
All great bands
about Freddie Mercury and so George Michael. I was listening to George Michael recently, and I thought to myself, pretty much anything that George Michael has done is like would be better if Freddie Mercury did it.
The real thing you need to think of is anything that George Michael has done is just a soft, sensual, sexy version of what Freddie Mercury would have.
Yeah, it's like a softer. It's
sexual.
It's like if Freddie Mercury didn't go at the end of everything.
Listen, Careless Whisper is still a bop, and even though that's not directly him because it's Wham, and people stop crediting the other person who I don't even know. Sorry, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Tonight the music seems so loud. Sorry.
Yeah, that's...
I'm gonna
get
on a music tangent. But yeah, you were going to talk about the Beatles.
Yeah, I liked that documentary a lot. Did you watch any of it?
I watched some of it, and it's... Because, I don't have time for a 4-part.
It's long.
It's long. 8 hours is a day. That's a day of work.
I know.
That's a work day. I got shit to do. I got yelled at by our mutual friend because I didn't do all of my dailies in the video game we played for the week. So I'm behind technically. And I don't want that to happen again. So I have to make sure I do my video game work as well as my normal work.
No, I liked Get Back a lot. I'm a huge again though. I feel like I'm biased because I'm a huge Beatles fan.
No, okay, listen.
My mom was
everybody
like an
likes the Beatles,
mania
though,
girl.
People who say they don't like the Beatles and that they're overrated are like 12-year-olds who want to sound cool.
Yeah, that's true. So it was really interesting to get to see their process. Some of it was a little bit slow, and some of it is like that's just how a band works. Which maybe I'm a little bit biased because I've had to sit in a room with people and pretend like we're getting along and write
to make
songs.
Music? Oh, boy.
Yeah. so some of it was like, I feel like,
listen, the creative process is hard.
Yeah. And that's what's interesting is seeing that creative process so raw like that. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. I guess if I were to pick a movie that wasn't Spider-Man in 2021.
Yeah, what is it?
I'm trying to think of movies that came out. Did the new Suicide Squad come out this year?
Yeah.
Was it this year?
Yeah.
Because that was good.
I love that
was
movie.
good.
Yeah.
That was good. Pete, first off, wrestling fan, so John Cena's in a movie. I'm in. Let's go.
John Cena was funny too.
John Cena did a great job, and I don't know if you've been watching the Peacemaker show.
I haven't gotten to watch it yet, but I want to see it.
So good, and it builds on the movie a little bit.
Okay.
Like this is a slightly spoilery. If I said, you know what? Shout out to Straw Hat Goofy for also making a TikTok about this motherfucker. But he's a council member. Anyway, there's that scene in the movie where they're on the bus and they're talking about parents and about how, like, you know, sometimes parents can be just harsh for no reason. Yeah. You see John Cena go, in the movie, and that's like a little one-off little actor bit, right?
Yeah.
In the fucking show, you see that his dad is this just terrible person who told him how to kill people, and is always harsh on him, and you're never good enough, and you see like, oh, that was a nod to the fact that, like, his dad is a piece of shit, and we're gonna see it in this next upcoming show.
Wow.
It's crazy. Also, the opening theme
I've seen a little bit of the opening.
Is a bop. What the fuck? Oh, this is a full-on dance number. Let's do it.
I have to check that out because I just haven't had the. I've been watching Daredevil. Actually, I've been trying to catch up.
What year is it?
It's 2016.
Gotcha.
I didn't watch it when it came out because I don't know.
Oh, so when he showed up in Spider-Man, did you just be like, eh?
No, I mean, I know who he is and, you know, the context of that. So I was excited. And he's good.
Yeah, dude, that Daredevil show is legitimately good. That first season, the hallway scene where he does the fight and it's all one take is amazing.
Yeah, the fight scenes are awesome, which is, I mean, it's good. The Suicide Squad, though, I liked a lot. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really gory and pretty much exactly what it should have been.
It did all the stupidest things about DC that I love.
Yeah.
Which is why I liked it. I mean, Pied Piper is a character. Sure, let's do that. Let's have fucking King Shark, but make him dumb.
I know. They
gave him the shark eyes, and I'm like, oh, no thought, no brain.
The shark eyes and the dad bod. It's so good. It's basically Guardians of the Galaxy on like an R rating.
James Gunn.
I know.
Gunn.
It's a total James Gunn movie. I've been down for that since Slither.
Opening scene where they're all just getting murdered is
good.
Great. Is great.
My mom wanted to see that movie, dude. I took my mom to see that in IMAX.
Oh, how did that go?
I mean, she enjoyed it, but I think that it scared her a little because it was so big and loud and violent.
Maybe I'm almost 30. I should probably get over it, right? But I do not enjoy watching anything that has a sex scene with my parents.
I mean, I guess I don't really care for it either. I don't mind that much, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to be put in that situation, I try to avoid that situation as much as possible. I remember I came home once to visit, and they were watching Nurse Jackie, and it was just a very, like, I don't want to watch anything. I don't want to do this. I'm going to cook us dinner. Goodbye.
Is there a sex scene in The Suicide Squad?
I mean, Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, that's the best part. That's the best part of the movie.
No, I mean the whole scene where that guy's like trying to like get her to marry him, and they're like flirting with each other. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny as shit. Yeah.
And then she just fucking kills him.
Yeah.
I love that speech she gives when she kills him too. She's like, I promised myself if I was gonna get involved with someone that I would, recognize the red flags. Yeah, that was a good movie. I like that movie a lot. Another movie that I enjoyed this year was The Mitchells versus the Machines, which I know we talked about a little bit.
I mean, we talked about by saying I watched this movie, and I'm like, what is this?
No, but you said you didn't see it, which you should see it because it's a really good movie.
What is it about? Like, I don't.
It's about like a robot uprising, but sort of from the perspective of like a modern kid dealing with their like relationship to technology, sort of, and their family.
Okay.
It is well animated. I think it was the guys that did the Lego movie and Into the Spider Hole. And
Stop. I'll kill you.
And I think it was.
Respect on Spider-Man's name.
No, it wasn't. You know, God, that feels so much like one of their movies, but it was directed by somebody named Michael Rianda. It feels so much like
what
one of
about
those
production studio is what you want to look at, dude. You know,
Yeah, or
production
like
studio, animation studio.
Maybe they wrote it or something.
Was it Sony at all?
Were they not involved at all? Yeah.
I mean,
they produced it. They produced it.
Yeah,
Okay, that's why.
There you go, man.
But it's great. It's funny. It's very colorful. It's sort of unique in the way that they use memes a little bit, but not like in a cringy, because like usually when they do that kind of stuff, it's like, oh, that's really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But they sort of utilize it in a way that that actually is not too bad. It's not as cringy as it could be. There's a scene with a giant Furby that attacks them.
Okay.
And
I'll give it a watch if I have time.
It's on Netflix, dude.
Honestly, selling it to be good enough, I feel. It doesn't seem like it's a you have to watch this. Oh, fuck! You know what? I've got another movie. Another movie. I'm an idiot. It came out right before. Encanto.
I didn't see Encanto yet.
Fucking Encanto is amazing. And by God, if you grew up in a family that put a lot of high expectations on you based on when you were born, then, oh boy, will you feel this. Louisa is a vibe that I know all too well, and I love her and her song. Also, the music is written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. So, it's a bop.
Is anything not written by Lin-Manuel Miranda at this point?
Listen, man, they recognize he's good. And honestly, even though there's only like 2 songs that I really like from Encanto, I listened to them like almost nonstop for a week after. So...
Yeah, I gotta check that movie out. I'm excited to see it.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah, it came out on Disney Plus really fast. I do not relate to that experience much. My parents were hippies who let me do whatever I want, and the result is questionable. But I don't.
So you're a little uneducated. So you're a little inexperienced. So you're a little milquetoast. It's fine. I love you. You're my buddy.
Dune.
I haven't seen Dune.
You didn't see Dune?
It was so Dune.
Good, dude.
Dude, because like, here's the thing, man. They've tried to do Dune so many goddamn times. And I'm just
good.
like, I don't know.
It was good.
I don't know.
It was
you just
good.
can't. The trailer made it really seem like we're focusing too much on a character that... It's supposed to be about, like, space war and political drama. And
it is.
I don't get me wrong. I really like MJ. But I don't want to see her for most of the movie with just blue eyes.
No, she's in it for like 2 minutes, reasonably so, because her character doesn't show up until that.
Tell that to the trailer.
So the movie ends like 2/3 of the way through the book.
Doesn't even finish the first book.
No.
What?
It's excellent because they take the time to show what they need to show, and I read up to that point in the book, like right before I saw the movie. So I can tell you, they do the scene for me. They handled it well. Mm-hmm. The scenes that need to happen all happen. They all like are fitting for the book, and it's I mean it's just a beautiful. Denis Villeneuve is like my favorite director, right? And he's now directed 3 of probably my all-time favorite science fiction movies. Okay. Arrival, the new Blade Runner, and this. I mean, he's just he's so good at what he does.
Cool. I'll give it a whirl.
I saw that in IMAX too. It melted my fucking face off. Let me tell you, when you do see that, I would see it in a balanced, like maybe not in a dark. The light levels in that movie change so frequently and so drastically that by the end of the movie, my eyes fucking hurt. Because it's like you're in the dark, and then it's, the blazing fucking sun, and then you're back in the dark again. But that's an excellent movie. It's a very good movie. Cool. I think overall, though, I saw way fewer movies than I usually do.
I don't think there were a lot of movies in 2021. There might have been, and I'm just a fool.
Yeah,
but...
no, I think that there are movies that I still want to see. There's a movie with Joaquin Phoenix called Come On, Come On that I haven't gotten around to seeing. But a lot of so it's tough because you want to support movie theaters, right? But I haven't found the incentive to put myself in that situation where I'm sitting in a movie theater with a bunch of coughing people unless it's some giant blockbuster spectacle. And I hate myself for that a little bit because I want to support smaller movies. But
I mean, I find myself when I go to the movies, I don't like to go where there's a large crowd anyway, because I feel like a large crowd can ruin a movie too fast. Obviously, some exceptions. The No Way Home, when the people were cheering at the right time because it was a good experience, it was great.
Yeah.
But I've been in theaters where kids crying or someone trying to make their own jokes over the movie loudly to the it's dumb. So I prefer like going in the middle of the day and like a few days after or a week or two after a release of a movie before I see one. Just so I could be left alone, enjoy myself.
Yeah. I
got these long dancer legs that just want to spread out.
Oh, what the fuck? Did you? So, the last, because I've seen Spider-Man a couple of times now, because everybody wants to. It's fun to go see it with somebody who hasn't seen it.
Yeah, I know you saw it with our mutual friend.
So when we went, and I'm not going to say where I live, but you may know where I live. At the closest Harkins to me is not the.
He's a Harkins nearby, so we know that he's somewhere in the Southwest.
Well, it's just not the best theater, and
okay, I know what you're talking about.
three for three now. 3 for 3 superhero movies that I've seen there, people brought their inappropriately young children to see the movie. So we saw Deadpool 2, we saw Logan, and then Spider-Man.
Well, Spider-Man, you can bring a kid to see Spider-Man.
But let me tell you. So, of course, Deadpool 2 and Logan. Logan, there was an 8-year-old kid in there. I mean, multiple 8-year-old kids. While Hugh Jackman is stabbing people, because that is not that's
well, first off, Hugh Jackman has been stabbing people as Wolverine for a while. It's just they decided to add blood.
I know. Well, so that's the thing is it just seemed like maybe those parents didn't know. But then Spider-Man, there was a literal baby.
Didn't care most likely. Go on.
There's a literal maybe because the thing is I get it, right? You don't have a babysitter, you want to go see a movie, you haven't been out, whatever, so I don't really care when people do that. It just kind of cracks me up. But when we went to see Spider-Man, there was a toddler. They turned the tablet on. Full volume. They turned the tablet on for this kid in the theater. And I was like, what the I've never seen that before in my life. Somebody
and that's why I don't do that. I leave. I fucking stay in a...
Somebody literally in the theater was like, can you turn that the fuck off to this parent?
Yeah. Good. Don't
I don't know, man.
Do shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
That is a public space that we're all paying to view something, and you're doing something. Get out.
Yeah, that's not
that's
cool.
different.
That's not cool.
You can bring a kid, but if your kid can't be well behaved and you have to step out of the theater, that's on you. That's your responsibility as a parent.
So and then
not
they didn't
throw a tablet at them.
They didn't step out of the theater. They stood. You know how there's the thing before you come in where it's blocked. They stood in the hallway, so you could still hear the kid fucking playing with their dad the whole time. I was like, what the
See, this is why I'm pick a theater that is good. Don't just pick one that's close, and know your timing when you go see a movie, because that sounds awful to me. The only my experience with a child for No Way Home was actually amazing. He sounded like 5 to 8 because that's the age range.
And was they into it? Were they into it?
No, everyone was into it because it's Spider-Man. But Aunt May says, with great power comes great responsibility, and you just hear this little kid go, yes! And I'm like,
oh, that's right,
this kid understood the assignment. Fuck yeah. This kid knows Spider-Man. He's allowed to be here!
Yeah, that's nice. This theater, though, I do not usually
Just drive to a different theater.
I do. We usually do. But I thought, you know what? It was like, Yannicka was getting off of work. We had to all meet there. It's like, it's 2 minutes away, whatever. We'll make it hard for our friend instead. The nice thing about that theater is that one time I went to see Gone with the Wind with some friends there.
Ew.
Yeah,
Terrible movie.
I was able to bring an entire laptop bag full of snacks in, and nobody gave a shit. It was like bulge. It was like this fat. I had like 3 Tupperwares full of pulled pork and like 2 Pringles cans. Nobody gave a shit. It was awesome.
Nice.
So for that, I will go to the crappy theater.
Nice. Before you get canceled, real quick, even if whatever, I don't give a shit. Gone with the Wind is a very well done movie. The acting, the sets, all of it is well done. I just hate that story. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
if you want to talk about characters who do not get consequences, that movie, that story.
It's not. It's a historically relevant movie, but it's not something that.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
My friend fell asleep. It. I managed to stay awake, but I had to get up and.
Why
walk
did you
around
see God with the Wind? Just
I don't
because,
know, man.
like,
I have a couple friends we go and see movies just for the sake of movies, and that was like the classic. That was like the classic movie that week. They go every week, and I tagged along. Malignant is another movie this year that I really enjoyed. It's a horror movie. It was out on HBO Max when it was released theatrically. But not to give too much away, that movie is balls to the wall nuts. There's some stuff toward the end of that movie that happens that it's sort of like this woman is having dreams about this these murders and stuff, and she doesn't know why, and she has to figure it out. And the reason why she's having these dreams, you'll probably figure out if you watch it. You'll figure out at some point, but it's nuts. It's just just crazy. It was
Is it demons, magic, or ghosts?
No, it's none of those.
Is it Cthulhu?
It's not Cthulhu. It's not Cthulhu.
What else would it be if it's not any of those? Is she just crazy?
No. You're not gonna guess it just sitting here.
If it's not demons, ghosts, Cthulhu, or magic, what is it?
And that's why you should see Malignant, because because when you see it, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck? What the hell is going on?" We made
along the way.
It's about the friends that she makes along the way.
It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry.
It's not about that. Also, the new Candyman was cool.
Yeah. I'm not really into horror a lot, but I saw it just because there's some campy horror scenes that I like to see, and I feel like they did some camp while still being scary.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
It was a good.
I like horror games though. I don't know why I don't like horror movies, but I like horror games.
See, I have a harder time with the horror games because.
But I can control it, and I'm not.
That's true.
I'm not yelling at somebody to not go in that room. I can be like, I don't want to go in that room.
And then just not go in the room.
If I'm going in that room, I'm going in with a gun. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I like Agency.
I like that movie a lot. I thought it was interesting how much. It's funny that they called it just Candyman when it actually. I don't know if you've seen the original Candyman, but it has a lot to do with the original Candyman. Like it's a direct sequel.
Oh, I thought it was just a remake.
No, and that's what's weird about the way that they marketed that is that it's like a direct sequel to original Candyman. But that's a good movie. I like the guy in that movie too. What's his name?
Don't know. I only watched a few scenes.
His name's Yahya Abdul-Mateen II.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. 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 It's not that hard to do that, actually.
Good boy.
There's nothing that makes your tongue trip up. It's just long. And then Last Night in Soho I liked a lot, which I don't know if you should check that out, Joe.
Why not?
I don't know.
What's it about?
I don't think that you would like it.
Well, why wouldn't I like it?
It's about it's about a girl who time travels to the 60s into the body of a prostitute when she sleeps. And that's it.
So when she goes to sleep, she's a prostitute in the 60s.
Yeah.
And the story is just her being a prostitute in the 60s?
Well, so she ends up seeing...
Is she her own grandma?
She ends up seeing... Yeah, well, kind of. No, but you sort of think maybe that's what it is for a second. She ends up seeing her get murdered, and she has to figure out whether it happened.
Oh, it's like one of those the Bones movies. What's that?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Funny Bones with Mark Wahlberg.
I don't think that's the movie I was referring to. I think it was the one where the girl has the diary and there's a creepy dude.
Yeah, the Funny Bones.
It's not okay.
So,
I like the song Ruby Soho by Rancid.
No, it's
Destination Ruby Soho.
And what other songs do you like, Joe?
I like
top 10 songs of 2021.
We Don't Talk About Bruno is definitely up there. Pressure.
I didn't listen to a lot of music this year.
You didn't? Oh,
no, not really.
There's a lot of good music, man.
Not a lot of new music anyway.
Okay, fair. Olive Montero.
I've heard that's good, but I didn't.
It's so good.
And check it out.
Listen, Lil Nas X is great.
You know, you mentioned also that you liked King Kong versus Godzilla.
I did, but that's just because I'm a kaiju-loving motherfucker.
Me too.
And I like seeing giant monsters fight giant monsters.
Me too.
And it was rigged because the only reason King Kong even won a bit of a fight is because he had to find an ancient magic weapon that could block Godzilla's nuclear blasts.
Yeah, it's really not a fair fight.
Yeah. When Godzilla wrecked his ass on the boat, I'm like, yeah, that's how that should go. That's how that's always gonna go.
Yeah, because...
You fucking scrub.
Because he's a giant radioactive lizard and you're just a
Return to monkey is stupid. Monkey. I did like that I called that it was like, oh, it's obviously not Godzilla. Godzilla's not a bad guy. It's a robot pretending to be Godzilla.
Oh, and Mechagodzilla was in it. That was so cool.
Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla was cool. Giant robot fights, always rad. Giant mech fights are cool. Giant kaiju fights are cool. And that just stems from the fact that I love Power Rangers. You know? Like, this is all under the category of giant fighting robots and monsters and shit, and this is awesome. What was that one movie? It had a sequel that I didn't watch, but I wanted to. It came in a while ago. It's about, like, you have to be drift compatible with another person.
Pacific Rim. I was going to bring that up.
Pacific Rim is so fucking dope, dude. It didn't... Giant robots fighting giant monsters. That's all you need. Throw Charlie Day in it. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm. Pacific Rim was awesome.
Yes. That was
such a good movie. Mm-hmm. I didn't see the second one. Did you see it?
I didn't, but I really wanted to. Apparently it was good.
I haven't heard anything about it, really. But the first one is amazing.
Sequels don't get a lot of talk, usually. Especially with, like, a new IP like that.
What?
I feel like sequels, unless the IP is established and very well known.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Talked,
it was a pretty.
Star Wars sequels, Spider-Man, and Marvel movie sequels aren't in the same conversation as Boondock Saints 2 is coming out. Like, did you know Boondock Saints 3 is coming out?
Oh, 3? No, I knew about 2.
Yeah.
Did you know Trainspotting 2 came out? There's
a Trainspotting 2?
Yeah, it actually wasn't
Why
bad.
the fuck did you want a sequel to Trainspotting?
It wasn't bad.
How do you do a sequel to Trainspotting?
So let me say, what's interesting about the second Trainspotting is that it's interesting to see a bunch of addicts and how they might develop as adults beyond their addiction. I think that's an interesting story to tell. You know,
okay.
and they sort of do that well. They're in sort of different points in their life. One of them is married and getting a divorce.
Is this like Home Alone 3, where it has nothing to do with the original characters?
No, it's the original cast. Ewan McGregor is in it. What's his face? The other guy?
I love Ewan McGregor. What's his face?
It's good. It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
So is it necessary? Maybe not, but it is an interesting take on the aftermath of addiction.
Okay.
It came
That's
out
dope.
not in
That's
2021, but I did like it. Dude, what
Are
was
there
your
any other
least favorite movie of the year?
Look Up. Don't Look Up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my least favorite.
I didn't watch Licorice Pizza, so I can't comment on it.
I didn't really care for that either.
But I watched Don't Look Up, and from the very get-go, I was like, I'm not entertained. I feel like this is a comedy, but I'm not laughing. Or what was the best parts of that movie? The best parts of that movie were anything involving what was the dude from 22 Jump Street?
Jonah Hill?
Jonah Hill, yeah. Jonah Hill was probably
Jonah Hill.
Why? Jonah Hill was hilarious in that movie.
No, it was like he was in a different movie than everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, "Hey, I understand this is a comedy movie. I'm gonna try." Did you like the bag on your head? I told him to put the bag on your head. I'm like, that's
some of the
added
jokes
extra
worked
bit.
in that movie. It wasn't like because it kept my attention well enough. I guess I watched the whole thing, but
No,
I think it was like too on the nose of a satire too. I feel like
No, you can be on the nose in a satire.
Okay,
you
but
can definitely be on there, but you gotta be funny.
like Idiocracy, right? Is a movie where that's kind of, I guess, a little on the nose, but they build a whole world.
It's hilarious. I love
It's
it.
funny.
Maybe because Don't Look Up is supposed to reflect too close to our own world.
I think that's what it is.
You know?
I think that's what it is. It's that they basically just made Donald Trump a woman, and then they were like, I guess that we'll just show them what they're experiencing. And that to me sort of was like,
Yeah.
I feel like you need to do. They thought they were making Doctor
Because
Strange
obviously this is a commentary on like where you get your news sources from, like in the face of actual crisis, like we are still divided, all this other stuff.
Coronavirus, climate change, whatever.
Yeah,
I get it. I just don't think that it was. I think that anybody who agrees with that stuff already agrees with it, and it wasn't going to change anybody. Like I feel like a satire is the most effective when you can trick somebody who disagrees with it. Like Stephen Colbert. I had a friend who was like in their family was very right wing, and she thought that Stephen Colbert was serious. Like that's good satire.
Yeah.
I don't think that movie convinced anybody.
I guess I think the point of that movie is like, who's your audience?
Yeah.
You're trying to tell a story, but who are you telling that story to?
Exactly.
People who already know it? That's why I didn't like it. I didn't take or gain anything from the movie. Oh, that's why. I like if I can't get anything from the story or the movie or any form of enjoyment from it. I take stories very, very seriously.
I know you do. You're a big story-driven guy.
Love story, like for the plot, for the narrative. It's so whenever it's just like I predict stories all the time. Like I'll go to a movie theater, I'll be like, I know what's gonna happen here, and this would be the story beat. And I watch wrestling, right? So that's an ongoing series of shows and drama and storylines. And you can laugh. That's fine.
You're right. I was laughing because you're right.
Yeah, but like. I like as soon as I see the setup and all this other stuff, because you by watching it and learning it in anything, you start seeing like the gears behind everything. I was also in high school I did a lot of theater and did a lot of backstage stuff, so I could just I like seeing the behind the scenes, and I like predicting and kind of knowing where I'm gonna go, but that doesn't mean I don't want to be fooled, and it doesn't mean I don't want to enjoy the ride. The thing about like wrestling fans and people who enjoy stories is they want to believe and feel something from the content. And I did not get that from this movie. This movie felt boring and a waste of my time.
And you hit a thing pretty well. You said who is this movie for? Like who's the audience? And that's sort of what I felt when I was watching that. I was like I already agree with most of so I'm not getting anything out of it, but I don't think that.
And who am I going to show? Am I going to show this to like my hard right friend who's going to be like, well, what? Of course you're going to look up. That's stupid. I'm like, I know, dude. See this? Yeah.
You can't. It's not gonna. It just doesn't. It doesn't. It just. I don't know. It didn't do anything for me.
It seemed like whoever wrote this film and produced it watched a lot of TikToks where people are talking to people who are ignorant and say like, "Oh, hey, don't be a sheep and you should read something." I'm like, well, did you read the thing? I'm like, well, I don't have time to read the thing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, fucking idiot, you're the reason.
Yes.
And like, dude, that's great because that's real content and like you can see it. This is forced content that I don't know who you're gonna show this to. So yeah.
Yeah, you know, what's funny is that the guy who wrote and directed it is Adam McKay, who before he got into these like serious movies did like Anchorman and The Other Guys and Step Brothers, and I don't know if his transition into like Oscar-worthy stuff has been all that good.
I feel like the Oscar-worthy mentality actually fucks up a lot of directors' paths.
I agree.
And a lot of writers' paths, like. Except for some reason sometimes I don't know. It's weird. Cause like I take a look at I mean he was in the movie actually. We could talk about a certain main event man who had deserved an Oscar for years, but because of the roles he chose to play, and the movies he was in, he didn't get that until a long while.
Who?
Leo.
Oh. Yeah, but
Leo gave a stellar performance all throughout his career.
Yeah.
And didn't get an Oscar near the end because other people in that movie were making the Oscar-worthy movies that did the yada-yada. I'm like, but he's a better actor half the time. What are you talking about? Like, 100% of the time, he's like a better actor than half the people who are in all these Oscar movies, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I think once you start, like, aspiring to something like that, you just lose sight of, often, I don't know, you just...
Oh no, that's true. You can lose sight of what's
what
important to you.
Yeah, what your goals are as an artist, other than getting that award. So he's sort of stuck in this like format now, where I don't know how effective it is.
He'll probably. I mean, I think what happens with a lot of these people is either they play the game and they fail, or they play the game, succeed, and then go back to doing what they like, and then finding that becomes super popular because of the recognition they got. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of I call it the Disney child star method. You know, you go through a lot of stupid shit and like not be good, then you show off your real talents and use it. You go crazy and off the rails for a bit, Brittany, Miley, and then when you recenter, just get attention, and then when you recenter and actually start producing art that you're proud of, fucking you hit it.
Yeah, that's true.
You just hit it.
Yeah, and it can be utilized in the right way for sure. I'm trying to think of some like directors or actors that have done that, where they did like a big Oscar movie and then did whatever the hell they wanted. I bet I will come up with some, but probably not
Does
on the
Steven
spot.
Spielberg count?
Yeah. Well, because
his range is everywhere.
I feel like that's the thing.
Is
he just can do whatever he wants all the time, because he
That's fair.
He did through the 80s a bunch of blockbuster stuff, and then he made fucking Schindler's List, which is an incredible, very intense movie. And then he went right back to like doing Jurassic Park or whatever.
Hey, Jurassic Park is also an intense movie.
No, Jurassic Park is an excellent movie. But I think that he just has the respect of so many people that he can do whatever the hell he wants.
That's true.
My least favorite movie might though be this movie called The Woman in the Window, which was a thriller movie with Amy Adams. That looked like maybe it was going to be an interesting thing about mistaken identity and agoraphobia, but it ended up just sort of going nowhere. I feel like it's the kind of movie that thought that they had something really interesting, and it did not. It was boring. Amy Adams is incredible in everything.
Well, yeah, because she's Amy Adams. Yeah.
But other than that, it just was not. I did, and Gary Oldman's in it for a second, who I love.
But
which is like all the more reason that it shouldn't have sucked as much as it did.
Yeah.
That those people.
Well, hey, like actors can only do so well as the writing allows, and the
seriously, yeah.
It is people forget. People like to blame other people whenever a movie's bad. Like, oh, that character did this stupid. That's bad writing. I'm like, no, that's how the character's written. That's just what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, the actor did it this way. I didn't like that. That could have been like someone telling him to do it that way. Blah blah blah. It's like, or the actor was really successful in this role. Oh, that was the director telling him to act that way. He only did that because everybody's involved in this process. And I feel like it's such a disservice just to say one production company or one director or one actor is the reason something doesn't fail. Because you could have a piece of gold and it could be surrounded by shit. It's still a shitty piece of gold.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're right. There's so many people involved with that. There are a lot of people who have like conspiracy theories about like Disney and their involvement with like brainwashing people. It's like, dude, so many people are involved with like every production of Disney. Nobody is that organized that they can be
Disney
that
is not
intentionally
trying...
evil.
Disney is not trying to mind control the actors and the producers and the directors. Just, the masses.
Yeah, well, and I mean they're effective in that, but I think that it's more just because they have a brand synergy that they can control a little bit. But there's so many people involved with that like you can't be like, that movie. Blah blah blah.
I watch a lot of Jordan the Stallion on TikTok. He made a thing about like what's scarier, Disney adults or Harry Potter adults, and his thing was like Harry Potter adults are like, what house are you in? And they're like, oh, blah 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 blah. You haven't watched it? Well, that's cool. You should watch it. We could do a Harry Potter movie marathon. And Disney adults are like, you didn't watch Little Mermaid? Are you a fucking fool? Are you a child? Are you a dumbass? And then they attack you for it, and then forcibly make you join the cult that is Disney, or they exclude you forever and hate you.
I mean, I think that's a blanket assumption, but I think there is that. I think probably the Disney adults that scare me the most are the ones that like live in the theme parks.
Where do they get that money?
That's what I'm saying.
Where are they?
I don't know.
Because I know Disney don't pay their people. Where are they getting the money to? What's going on?
I went to Disneyland once. I was like, well, I'm bankrupt now. I can't do anything for the rest of the year. So I don't fucking know how they do that. Anyway. Definitely my favorite movies this year were not movies. Oh, you know what my favorite documentary was this year?
Sure, buddy.
Was Beanie
I
Mania.
thought you just talked about it. Wasn't the Beatles the documentary?
No, that was my favorite 8-hour, 3-part documentary. This is
you
my
just
favorite
lagged
feature.
Through that.
That's my favorite 8-part, 3-hour documentary. I don't think I lagged on my end. This is going to be confusing for some people.
Yeah, whatever.
Beanie Mania. It's about Beanie Babies. Go watch it. We'll see you next week. We'll talk about sexy Digimon.
Oh, goodbye, everybody.
I'm psyched
Digimon
about it.
is Pokemon that you can fuck.
Yeah, I'll do
it's not.
Well, I
Well,
won't do any homework, but I guess
don't do any homework. I am going to do the homework.
Yeah,
because
okay.
yeah.
All right, sexy Digimon week.
What a weird fucking thing to lead into. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, sexy Digimon.